You probably still remember how Menglong once exposed the dark side of the entertainment world through a British psychic, Tyler Williams. His message was clear. He wanted fans to keep speaking up for him and for everyone else facing the same nightmare because, as it turns out, he wasn't the only victim. Thanks to Menglong, people are finally waking up to the most sickening corners of our industry. From the national boyfriend Li Xian to the legendary period drama star Jiao Enjun and even Xue Zhiqian, every single one of them has been a target of these powerful big bosses. Hey Tracers, Sean here, and welcome back. How are you guys doing? Hope you're all holding up well. I've been feeling a bit under the weather lately, just a nasty cough and the flu, but thankfully no fever. So, with the unpredictable weather and everything going on in the world right now, please take care of yourselves, Tracers. I don't want any of you getting sick, so we can keep diving into these cases together, okay? Today, we're heading down a pretty dark tunnel. We're going to break down how money and power in the entertainment industry can turn anyone, no matter how handsome or famous they are, into a target for some truly twisted predators. We're not just talking about rumors here, we're talking about the guts it takes to say no, even when your entire career is on the line. So, brace yourselves, because you never know how deep this hole goes. First off, I want to dive into a story that's currently blowing up across the Chinese internet. A video has surfaced allegedly showing a powerful capitalist tycoon harassing a male actor in plain sight, and it's spreading like wildfire across social media. This incident has reignited the firestorm around the sex for power scandals that have been haunting the entertainment industry. The clip made its way onto Threads, and while the man's identity hasn't been officially confirmed yet, the uploader also included reports about Li Aiqing, the former party committee secretary and chairman of Beijing Capital Group, who was recently handed a suspended death sentence. Now, rumors have been swirling for years that Li Aiqing was playing around with plenty of B-list male actors and even some top-tier stars. But whether the big boss in that video is actually Li Aiqing, we can't say for sure just yet. Though, if you look at his build, there is a striking resemblance. But if we check the archive photos, Li Aiqing's receding hairline seems a bit wider, so there's a slight mismatch with the old man in the video. Li Aiqing himself is notorious, dubbed as Beijing's #1 state-owned enterprise corruptor. He climbed to the very top, serving as chairman at both BSCO and Capital Group. He held the reins of power for 18 years until he finally retired in April 2020. These two state-owned giants have a massive footprint in Beijing's economy. Beijing Capital Group, for instance, is a state-owned behemoth that basically has its hands in everything from environmental sectors and real estate to infrastructure and finance. They even have 3 companies listed on the stock market. Just imagine, by the end of 2020, their total assets had smashed through the 400 billion yuan mark. In 2021, while serving as the vice chair of the Beijing Municipal People's Congress Financial and Economic Committee, Li Aiqing's empire finally crumbled. On the 30th of June 2025, he was sentenced to death with a reprieve for abusing his power to amass over 200 million yuan in illegal wealth. But what really caught everyone's eye was an earlier report from the Beijing Discipline Inspection Commission, which mentioned that Li Aiqing was involved in sex for power transactions. This was flagged as a severe violation of social norms. But shortly after, a Chinese economist leaked that these sex transactions weren't your typical male-female affairs. It turns out Li Aiqing was into men, and he often used investment projects as bait. He basically used those projects as leverage to demand tributes of handsome men from his business partners. A netizen from Taiwan even chimed in saying, "Because of the Menglong case, I finally realized that to become a top star, you need a sugar daddy or sugar mommy backing you up. Without them, it's impossible to blow up." So, what about the idols we've been worshiping all this time? Are they dirty too? Is there even anything left to be proud of? Aside from our Xiao Yu story, this video has ripped open the public's old wounds regarding the mysterious death of actor Yu Menglong. According to industry insiders, during his life, Yu Menglong was blacklisted for 3 years, simply because he refused to bow down to the hidden rules of the celebrity world. Legend has it, at a certain party, Li Xian was targeted by a high-level male executive from a massive talent agency. This guy wasn't just anyone. He was a heavyweight with serious pull and real power in the industry. In fact, he was notorious for being handsy and had a history of harassing male actors. Word on the street is that throughout the party, this boss kept dropping heavy hints to Li Xian. If he wanted the good roles and big resources, he had to sleep with him. But what happened next? Li Xian didn't compromise for a second. Instead of caving, he shut it down right then and there, and rumor has it, he even had the guts to land a hard slap across the boss's face. They say no one had ever dared to stand up to that big boss so openly, let alone lay a hand on him. But Li Xian proved he was built different. He became the first person to actually fight back. Sadly, that bravery came with a massive price tag. Not long after, his career was sabotaged through boycotts and blacklisting. Every project he was supposed to star in was snatched away, and his scenes in the film When Larry Met Mary were hacked to pieces until he was practically invisible on screen. He almost vanished from the big screen entirely. His agency reportedly pressured him to apologize, but Li Xian stood his ground and flat out refused to submit. That was when he wiped his entire Weibo history. The move shot to the #1 trending topic and sparked heated debates everywhere. You could say it was the darkest chapter of his life. The agency tried to play it off, claiming Li Xian only deleted his posts because of a minor mistake. They said he accidentally left a comment on another actor's account and felt so bad about causing trouble that he decided to clean house and empty his profile. After a long hiatus, Li Xian finally returned to Weibo and wrote, "No need to stress over things that never happened. Just keep your foot on the gas for a brighter future." That sentence felt like his final answer to everything. At the time, Li Xian was feeling incredibly lost. He eventually decided to head back to his hometown, Jingzhou, and told his parents, "I don't want to be an actor anymore." He spent quite a bit of time back home, but even at the absolute lowest point of his career, his love for acting never really died. He just couldn't bring himself to walk away for good. Fast forward to 2019, the drama Go-Go Squid absolutely exploded in the market. Li Xian's popularity skyrocketed, instantly cementing his status as an A-list star. Since then, he starred alongside Liu Yifei in Meet Yourself, reunited with Yang Zi in Will Love in Spring, and landed several other massive projects. Since his comeback, those old rumors about him being harassed by a male exec and getting blacklisted for fighting back have resurfaced. Netizens have been showering him with praise. They're taking their hats off to him because Li Xian chose to lose his projects and his career rather than submit to harassment. His courage is honestly inspiring. The entertainment world might look glitzy and glamorous from the outside, but behind the scenes, there's a hidden pressure and darkness that even male actors find hard to talk about. Renowned screenwriter Wang Halen once shared a post about his experience on a production set that was absolutely mind-blowing and not in a good way. Imagine this. Both the director and the screenwriter were gay, and the production office was set up in a luxury apartment. Even more suspicious? Every position from the assistant directors to the art department was filled by incredibly handsome young men. The post went into graphic detail about scenes so filthy and disgusting, they were practically unbearable to even think about. Hey everyone, before we dive into the video, we want to announce that we're launching a brand new segment called Trace Your Story. For this segment, you can send us a real-life story you've experienced, from horror and cheating to crime or any other true story you have. Send us your story at Sean Virell, traceyourstory@gmail.com, using this format. Email subject, trace your story. Story title, your title here. Tell us your experience in as much detail as possible. Feel free to include any supporting photos or evidence if you have them. Optional contact, your WhatsApp number, or another way we can reach you for more information. Don't worry, you can absolutely send your story anonymously if you prefer. We'll do our best to create a video and tell your experience. I'm really looking forward to your emails, and who knows, your story might be the very first one featured on Trace Your Story. Don't forget to submit your stories. I'll be waiting and can't wait to read them. While the stars are basking in the glow of wealth and applause under the stage lights, in the dark corners where cameras can't reach, there are greedy eyes from the elite watching, waiting for their chance to pounce. Most people have always assumed that in the dirty games of the entertainment industry, only beautiful female artists are the targets, while men are often automatically cast as the predators. But looking at the internal secrets exposed by the artists themselves, the whole sleeping for roles or hosting parties thing is really just the tip of the iceberg. In reality, male actors are just as likely to end up as prey or mere playthings for the powerful tycoons who hold the purse strings. On the show, Mars intelligence agency Xue Zhiqian once laid it all out, revealing 2 incidents that were absolutely mind-boggling. He told a story about the early days of his career when he just started filming. A female boss had taken a liking to him. Under the pretext of discussing a partnership, she called him to her hotel room. Back then, Xue Zhiqian was incredibly naive and genuinely thought they were going to go over the script, so he went. But instead, he was asked to help make the bed. When she started dropping heavy hints and asked if he'd like to take a shower too, he was so terrified he literally started shaking. Without a second thought, he flat out refused, turned around, and bolted out of there. And the price he paid for that refusal was being blackballed for years. His acting career was almost completely ruined because he couldn't get a single role in movies or dramas. But what's even more shocking is that Xue Zhiqian was also targeted by a man. On another program, he revealed that his manager once invited him to a sauna. Since they were both guys, he thought it was just a normal bro outing. At first, they were having a great time chatting, but then the manager started getting handsy, and his comments turned suggestive. Xue Zhiqian said his skin crawled instantly. He was scared to death and got the hell out of there. Now, speaking of Jiao Enjun, I'm sure he needs no introduction. His portrayal of Li Xian is legendary. With his incredibly charismatic looks, he was even dubbed the #1 most handsome man in period costume. Just like the rumors surrounding Menglong, in the entertainment world, anyone with good looks, regardless of gender, is going to be a prime target for the big bosses. Jiao Enjun also opened up on a show about being harassed by a male superior with immense power. One day, using work as an excuse, the boss called him to his room. Initially, things seemed normal, but the vibe gradually shifted. Jiao Enjun sensed something was wrong and tried to leave. But what made his blood run cold was when his boss suddenly hugged him from behind, using a whiny, flirtatious tone to beg him to stay and keep him company. Terrified, Jiao Enjun fought with everything he had to break free. He described his escape as practically scrambling out of the room in a panic. When we look at these celebrity confessions, the filth and depravity of the entertainment industry just get more and more absurd. In an industry dominated by absolute capital and power, attractive people, man or woman, are always at risk of becoming a hunter's trophy. We need to care about the fate and safety of these artists and keep exposing the truth behind this industry. That way, other artists who might be going through the same nightmare as Menglong can have a better safety net. So tracers, what do you think? Do you feel this industry has become so sick that integrity now costs years of being blacklisted? Or is it possible that there are still many other Li Xians or Xue Zhiqians out there who are staying silent because they're afraid of losing everything? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I really want to hear your perspective on the darkness behind the glitz and glamour. Thank you for sticking with me through this deep dive. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and take care of yourselves. If you're still watching this, maybe you're looking for the same thing I am.